Hi everyone, I'm Tracy Kimberg, a teenage therapist, and today I'd like to share 5 tips on how you can support your teenager through a breakup. As a mum of 3 daughters, I've had my fair share of heartache and heartbreak in our house, and it's not easy to see your child go through such a difficult time and see them really hurting. So, I thought it would be really helpful to share my tips with you so that you can help your teenager navigate through this, something like this, if they ever go through it, and feel that you are doing the right thing. So let's start with the 5 tips. The first tip is to be available for them. It's so important when your teenager is going through something so difficult that you are available to them so that they can come to you when they are ready. And that's the important part, when they are ready. Sometimes it's late at night or when you are busy doing something, then please be available. Stop what you're doing and say, right, I'm here. I'm ready to listen. Because if you say, I'm busy now, can we do it later? They probably won't come back. So be available when they are ready. The second tip is to validate their emotions. It's so important to validate their emotions. Tell them that it's 100% okay for them to feel exactly how they're feeling. They might feel scared, they might feel angry, they might feel betrayed, they might even feel lonely. Validate their emotions back to them and say, I can see that you are lonely. It must be really hard. Or I know that you are sad now, and that's okay. I'm here for you. Try not to say things like, come on, it's going to be better. Get yourself together, pull yourself together. Don't say things like that in the moment, because that is not going to be validating at all. The third tip is to encourage healthy coping mechanisms. When your teenager is going through something like heartbreak, where they feel emotionally completely overwhelmed, they might turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms. Then they might do things like start not eating, they might overeat, they might just go to bed and not want to get out and just sleep. They are sometimes also teenagers that start self-harming or turning to drug use. So please be aware of the coping mechanisms and remind them that there's lots of healthy coping mechanisms, how they can help themselves work through this heartache. Things like being active. Help them by saying, let's go for a walk, or let's go to the beach and have a walk on the beach, or let's go for hot chocolate. Do something that you know that they would be interested in, and encourage them to maybe write a letter. They don't necessarily have to give it to their ex-partner, but to write a letter or journal, or to or overall do something that is not going to, be negative and have a negative effect on them. It's also very helpful to encourage them to actually mix with their friends and other people, because so many of us have had heartache in the family. There might be other members that can share their stories, and the same with their friends. I'm sure there's probably friends going through exactly the same thing. So if they get out there and mix and socialize, they do feel that they have a better support system and they feel less isolated. The fourth tip is to avoid placing blame. Oh my goodness, this is the difficult one. I found it really hard when my children went through breakups to not blame the other partner, and also to not blame myself, quite frankly, and also avoid blaming your child. It's not very helpful to them to have this negative energy around. Be understanding and rather help them have an understanding perspective, and tell them that they are going to learn through this process. And as hard as it is now to see what you're learning, next time you will know better and you will be stronger afterwards. But it's okay to, in this process, feel that you are angry and feeling betrayed toward the person. The fifth and the final tip is to find the help that you need if you feel worried about your child. It's not a shame to find professional help when your child isn't coping. It's actually great because when your child finds, for instance, a therapist, they have a space that is safe where they can find professional coping mechanisms and support that is other than their peers, for instance, and they can learn how to actually navigate through the process in a good way. And also, once they are through the process of therapy, they have that for life and they will be able to, the next time it happens, navigate through it by remembering, oh, yes, this is what I learned at therapy. And I remember that, it's okay to feel sad and my feelings are valid, etc. In conclusion, remember, as a parent, oh my goodness, it is going to take a lot of patience, a lot of understanding, and willingness to listen when your child goes through something like a breakup. So be there for them, validate their emotions, encourage healthy coping mechanisms, and avoid blaming anybody, either your child, yourself, or the ex partner. And of course, the most important one is to find professional help if necessary. So, if you are a parent of a child that's been through a breakup or going through a breakup and you're worried about them, then please reach out. Let's have a chat and let me see if there's something I can do to help and help navigate together with you and your child a path forward so that they can come out the other side feeling stronger and confident to go out there and live life and be able to overcome difficult things like a breakup. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you at the next one.